guys, how you doing? This is Manga, etc. and I'm here today to bring the review for One Piece episode 818. Now, this episode took place within two locations, a random island, the name probably was given, but a random island on the Grand Line and the Okama Kingdom. But the episode is based on one faction, the Revolutionary Army. So on this random island within the Grand Line, we meet the captains of the Revolutionary Army, and why they're on this island is because every time a reverie comes around, pirates seem to be under the notion that, okay, the smart thing to do right now would be either to, as we saw in the last episode, kidnap some royals, hold them for ransom, or just run upon some islands and take all their assets. And now, for me, I'm thinking to myself, okay, you can make the mistake, and this is more of a jab at the royals of each island. If they are all doing this, it might just be a few of them, but you can make the mistake once of leaving a country unprotected. I understand that you'd want to bring your top soldiers with you, but like in this island we see within this episode, it gives off the hint that all the kings and queens leave their islands completely unprotected. That might not be the case, but it just makes me think you can make that mistake once, fair enough, but why would you continue to make that mistake again and again if you didn't care about your island? That is something that I don't remember if I thought of that during the manga when it came up in the manga, but it is something that I thought within this episode. So we also learn about the heavenly tax. I'm gonna call it a tax. I know it was called a tribute within this episode, but I'm gonna call it a tax, which the people have to pay to the king and the celestial dragons. It's not right, but I can get why someone in power would do that. But this episode, we have Peachbeard run up on this island, trying to rob it of its assets, and then we have the captains of the Revolution Army, who just happen to be nearby, run up on this island, and save it. Well, motivate them to save it, but yeah, we can say they saved it. They saved it. So during this time, we get a little glimpse, obviously, into the captains. We see, I can't remember all their names, but we know the captains of the North, South, East, and West. So yeah, the North, South, East, and West, and we get a little insight into what they can do. We don't get confirmation if it's devil fruit abilities or not, except for one of them, who has the pump no me. I'm gonna call it the amp no me because that sounds a bit better. Pump questionable. But yeah, the pump no me, and from what we see within this episode, given a few motivational speeches and a swing of the flag. I don't think it always has to be the flag, but maybe it's something. We'll do it. But yeah, anyway, with a bit of motivational speaking, she can amp up or pump up the power of surrounding people and will them to fight. As we see within this episode, a normal civilian was able to take down a pirate with a bounty of 52 million. Now, again, I've said it previously, bounty doesn't equal power level, but still, that's quite a feat. It's quite a feat. Now, I'm interested in everybody's opinion actually of who is your favorite captain thus far, based on just a little bit we've seen of them. Even in the manga, we haven't seen any more of them, so and I know it's not a lot to base your favorite on, but on first impressions, who's your favorite? Because for me, I'm feeling, come on, you maggots, weapons of shape. That's the whole. I get the whole sergeant kind of vibe from her, and the way she's dressed, the way she looks, and yeah. So for right now, she's my favorite. I'm gonna go with second favorite. I will have to say the cat, and that's just basically on design. And I don't know. I just get this vibe that he's gonna do something great later on down the series. But then again, I've had vibes about previous characters before, and they haven't been too impressive, aka Peckhams. But based on what we see within this episode with the cat, I don't think. Well, he's probably a mink. Yeah, he's probably a mink. But anyway, I don't think he has a devil fruit ability I think he's just going to be a tech guy because he's got the backpack and he's just talking about tech. So I think he's going to be like one of them, and freezing gun as well. But I think he's going to be more weapons based than anything else. He might know like a martial art or Kyushu fighting style, but I'm not sure about that. We have the giant as well, and now he did some funky stuff with the floor within this episode. Probably made you think of was it Baby Five? Oh, what was it? No, not Baby Five. But the guy from Joshua, so he was all sucking on the pacifier. Him probably made you think of his devil fruit ability, but obviously we know he's still got his devil fruit ability. So I think everything he did within this episode with the floor was again coming from, well, not again. I think it was coming from his weapon, which I think was built by the cat. So I could be wrong, but we'll find out fair enough. And the last guy was introduced to Mr. Crows, as I'm going to call him from now. Not much to say about him. I don't really have an opinion of him. He's just there for the meantime. But I think, just to tell you, I don't think I know that this is the guy who helped Sabo get off of Dressrosa. Just to put the two and two together, because you might have not realized straight away. Yeah, so that's that half. In the Karma Kingdom now, we have Dragon, Sabo, and a few others, and this is basically where we find out that the Revolutionary Army will be going after the Celestial Dragons. They have declared war on the Celestial Dragons, so they're going to be going after them, and that's some exciting stuff to come out. I'll tell you that. But anyway, problems with the episode, because there's always problems. Nothing's always picture perfect. I do believe that to make the episode better, we could have probably, I don't know, added some action for the island on the Grand Line bit. For me personally, I would have started off because you had that little scene of Luffy and he's asking Nami about the Revolution Army. Is there any news about them in the newspaper? First things first, I think that did happen in the manga, but it is kind of out of character for Luffy to kind of ask this information. I mean, I know he's asking just to see if his brother, yeah, just Sabo, to see if he's okay. But it seems a little bit out of character. But anyway, I would have started with that scene and then gone back and forth between the Grand Line and the Karma Kingdom. But that's just a personal preference for me. I am glad and surprised that we did not have Sabo go into flashback when we saw him looking at the newspaper. I'm so surprised. But if we had, then that would have ruined the episode. That would have been it just there and then, because I know they would have run into it too much. Speaking of flashbacks, it wasn't a flashback, more a reminder of what the Revolutionary Army does. Did not need that for the episode at all. That was just a little fluff piece that was not needed at all. But they could have made that way worse by expanding it and all sorts. But yeah, so that's cool. So that's everything I've got to say about this episode. Question to leave off for the audience: who is your favorite revolutionary captain thus far? And if like always, 3-star rating, call it review. Like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.